Will be joined here soon, shortly, right now, okay, by a man who was just named the 2020 NFL Pepsi No Sugar Rookie of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers, first-round pick less than a year ago for them, Justin Herbert.
Yeah! Hey guys, thanks for having me.
How many interviews have you done today, and how many are you scheduled to do?
Probably 6 or 7 so far, but I was looking forward to this one the most.
Oh, hey, that was very nice of you. I'm happy they put you in a room with incredible lighting there. You don't look like you're being held hostage at all. All right, let's talk about the season that was. Justin, absolutely unbelievable transition from college into the NFL. And obviously the circumstances regarding your first start were not ideal with, I assume you have a lot of respect and kinship with Tyrod Taylor. But then once you got in there, you were able to put a lot of questions to sleep that people potentially had about you being from a small town, maybe can't command a huddle or anything like that. You were phenomenal, dude. I hope everybody's giving you your flowers today because you absolutely deserve it. How was the transition? Was it whenever you were just kind of dropped in there out of nowhere to play? What was it week to week, week over week that you continued to learn because you continue to get better and better this year?
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I think you said it best. Tyrod is an incredible leader, an incredible teammate. And, we got pretty close, and that quarterback room was pretty special. And he was always there for us to help out. And, obviously a tough year. It didn't go the way we wanted it to. It didn't win as many games as we would have liked. But I learned a lot. And to be thrown in like that, what a crazy scenario. And I'm thankful for Pep Hamilton, our quarterback coach, who kind of took me aside early on in the year and said, just we don't really know when or if you're going to go in, but you need to be ready when that happens. And because of him, I felt like I was ready and just kind of took over from there.
How big was the Nike deal? Was it a big one, like a good one?
That's actually still being finalized. I think with coronavirus and everything going on, they were unable to kind of put something together. So that's still in the process.
Hey, you will go to Adidas though, right? You will go to Adidas if there's a great offer.
No, I've always been Nike. So. People aren't going to be too happy to hear that, but I've always been Nike, so I'm going to support them no matter what.
I understand. I mean, that's putting yourself in terrible leverage and costing yourself probably a lot. But at this point, the relationship with Nike will be awesome. Going into next year, what are you working on this offseason? And by the way, the haircut, are we sticking short? Are we growing the flow back? What is the idea this offseason here?
Yeah, it'll be grown back out.
Yes! Yeah! It was such a good flow, dude. I want to let you know, a lot of people bummed in Indianapolis when you cut that hair, but we understood you're probably making some sort of decision. So the hair's coming back this offseason. What are you working on going into year 2?
Well, yeah, it's coming back, but this is my normal hair length, and so I think that's kind of what trips people out. It's always been this length, and so I just cut it during the year, and I didn't realize it was going to get so much attention, but it'll be coming back. And yeah, this offseason, it's huge. It'll be
hold on, just hold the phone. So whenever it comes back, or is it staying, or are you cutting it every single year, and then it will just be a yearly grow thing?
That's a good question. I probably really haven't thought that far out yet. It'll probably stay, though. I miss the long hair, so it'll probably stay.
You play great football with short hair, so I don't think it's that type of thing. So that's good news. That's at least good news. This offseason, though, what are you going to work on?
So it's going to be working with the receivers. It's going to be a new offense. We're getting a new coaching staff, and I've met with Coach Staley and Coach Lombardi a couple times, and they sound like great guys. I've only heard good things from them. So it'll be figuring that out, that offense, working with the receivers. Got a lot of guys coming back, so lots to look forward to.
Hey, whatever you were throwing on Hard Knocks into those tiny little things, and Pep Hamilton was kind of talking shit to you, I think that was potentially the moment where I was like, I think a lot of people that ever played were like, oh, this guy is going to be incredible. You were throwing to like spots in the games, and then in that practice you were like throwing darts, and they always say accuracy is a big thing. Your size is something I think that's underestimated. I think a lot of people did, especially while you were running people over, and then did you see you flexed on a guy?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that? You ran a guy over and you just like stood up and flexed on him. You remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, you're probably concussed. Yeah. By the way, maybe add it into the repertoire, by the way, because it was unbelievable to watch, but I think like your physical abilities I did not have a clue about, I think, until we watched, and I was like, holy hell, with how tall you are. But you were throwing to spots. Now, have you always done that? Because that's a big transition, right, from college to NFL. Is guys in college are wide ass open normally, right? I mean, it's a much different game. And in the NFL, guys it's going to be a much tighter window. Is that something that was an easy transition for you? Is that something that you noticed, this is much smaller holes to throw the ball into this year? And was that something you had to continue to work on, or was it natural?
Yeah, that's just something that coaches and other players have kind of said, Justin, going forward, this is what you need to expect. And obviously no one's going to be wide open. And sometimes they are, but it's not really like that. And I think the best part about the Hard Knocks clips was they only showed the good ones. And so you guys didn't get to see the ones where I missed.
We saw all of Jordan Love's those ones.
Yes, we did.
It's the only ones that got out for Jordan were the bad ones. The only one that got out for the Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Year were the good ones. That's good news. That's good news for you there. How delicious is that Pepsi Zero Sugar, Justin?
So delicious. Big fan.
Classic. What do you got?
Justin, when you guys played the Raiders this year, Marcus Mariota ended up coming in. Were you mentally prepared to face what was possibly the best Oregon quarterback of all time, which I believe now you hold that title, or were you just hoping to talk to him after the game?
No, see, I didn't even think about that. As soon as Derek Carr goes down and I see Marcus going, I'm thinking, oh, wow, well, this is the guy I looked up to. This is the guy I watched for so long. Now I'm getting the chance to play him. And he played really well, and I thought that was great for him. And he's an incredible guy, an incredible leader. And it was pretty cool to be able to talk with him after the game as well.
Any defenses confused the hell out of you? Was there?
Yeah, there were a bunch of defenses are so much more complicated in the NFL, and the way they bring in pressures and the guys, the pass rushers, are so much faster, so they're able to get away with more. And I think protections are huge, and so that's just something that I've had to learn a bunch this year as well.
Sam Darnold had some leaked audio of a Monday Night Football game of him saying, "I'm seeing ghosts." What did that mean, you think, now that you've gone through one NFL? What does that mean? Does that mean he thinks he's seeing one thing and then another thing comes? And did that happen to you this year where it was just I had no idea that was going to happen?
Well, yeah, that's actually a pretty common phrase. I've heard that back in college a couple times, and I think it's just when you see the pressure and guys are getting in the backfield and you think you don't have as much time as you actually do. And everything's happening so quickly that you try and get the ball off as quick as you can. And sometimes you think there's pressure when there's not. And so that's a pretty common reference
see, I thought he was talking about the coverage or something, but instead it's you're getting almost happy feet in the pocket. It happens to a lot of quarterbacks. You just cleared something up for me there. It made me a smarter person. I appreciate that, Justin. With the short hair, what do you got?
Justin, you guys beat the Chiefs by 17 points in the last week of the season. So basically, ipso facto, if they win, you're the Super Bowl champion. So congratulations.
Hey, all right. Zero Sugar and Super Bowl champion. Wow, man. Way to go.
I wish it worked that way.
You did have success against them, though, without knowing that you were going to play against them with 15 minutes left because a golf tee was shoved into the starting quarterback's lung. The thought of you play, you kept it. You ate that. That was very impressive what you just did right there. Yep, that was very good. Let's move along. But going against the world champs in your first game with 15 minutes as a head start, what was the thoughts going into that game? Were you just you said Pep had you prepared or whatever, but there had to be a moment where a human steps in there and you're like, all right, here we go. This is not ideal, obviously. Had no idea this was. What was the process of that day almost? Because you guys almost beat them. You just came out and got it. It was an incredible game. It was incredible.
Well, this is one of my favorite stories to tell because I remember walking down. We're about to receive the kick, and I'm yelling, let's go, offense, let's go. I didn't have my helmet, wasn't warmed up. Coach Lynn comes up to me and goes, you're in, Justin. And I was thinking, I didn't know if this was a planned all along and they just kept it hidden from me. Oh. And so then Coach Steichen and Pep Hamilton, they both come up to me and say, you're going in, time to focus up. And I just had the biggest smile on my face. I was let's go, guys. I'm excited. And I go out to the huddle and Hunter Henry's like, what are you doing out here? And I was like, right before this, that's what you're going to tell me? And so it was kind of funny. But no, it was a crazy scenario. It all happened so quickly.
The command of a huddle is something that they judge quarterbacks on whether or not they'll be able to make the transition from college to the NFL. How was that for you? How was the relationship? I assume after the guys got to watch you play a few downs, they were like, okay, we got a guy here. But what was that like, kind of being a leader of grown-ass men, because the position that you're in out of nowhere?
It's a pretty cool opportunity. And having been from Oregon where we no huddled, we never really were in a huddle. And so that's something I had to practice in the offseason. And I stumbled on a bunch of play calls. Guys were laughing. And I mean, that happens. You're going to make mistakes like that. But in the Chiefs game, actually, I ran off to the sideline and I got hit on a 3rd and short. And like 2 guys collided. And I think the other guy was on the ground for a little bit. And
you flexed
I ran
on
back
it.
to the huddle.
Yeah, you flexed.
And no, I don't think it was that one.
Yes, finish your story. Yeah, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
I was hurting too. And I ran back to the huddle and Austin Eckler was like, Justin, are you okay? Like, what just happened? I was like, yeah, I'm fine, Eckler. Like, let's keep going. And I think that's when I'd like to think I kind of realized how tough I was.
Well, I think the whole world, by the way, because I remember watching that. I have a setup where I watch all the games, and whenever you got into the game, it was very interesting. Like, oh, okay, here we go. Our guys playing. And at that point, we didn't know the golf tee thing had gone in there. But the highlight of you running the guy over, I mean, that thing hit the internet and just went. And they're like, look at this dude. I mean, it's been awesome to watch. Congrats on the Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Year. What are you going to do with the trophy?
I think it'll go to my parents' house. There's probably a place for it there. I think they've kept my room intact, so hopefully it'll go in there.
Have you bought a house in Los Angeles?
I have not.
You just living in an apartment down there?
A townhouse.
Ooh. Well, it's about time now with this Pepsi Zero Sugar money and inevitably Nike money. I mean, let's go ahead and get a pretty sweet place, dude.
Yeah, we'll see. It's nice knowing that I've got a year under my belt, so that's something I'll look forward to the next couple of years.
Smart, yeah, because they always say, "Do not buy." You have no idea what the future holds. And here's Aaron Rodgers, by the way, at the age of 37, saying the same exact thing. I assume this is going to be the rest of your career. Congrats on an incredible start. It was a joy to watch. Can't wait to see the hair come back in you in your second year, brother.
Thank you, guys. It's always a pleasure.
The pleasure's ours, Justin. Mm-hmm. Hey, by the way. Smart not to laugh earlier about the, you had to eat that one. That was very, very professional quarterback of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you there.
Justin. That was awesome. He did have to eat it. While I was talking, and I was going to continue just to bury it. I mean, they took that thing out and just to see it. Because, by the way, he's probably friends with that doctor too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
hopefully.
Well, easy. That doctor, I've been told by people that have gotten that shot that they tell you, the people who get that shot know that this is very much a potential outcome. And it hasn't happened, I guess, in a long, long time. But I guess when you're sticking needles in your lungs, things happen.